gentlemen. Anything that you're doing, whether it's wealth builders, outside of wealth builders, it's kind of like when you showed up to your job, right? They gave you the offer. You're like, yeah, man, $15 an hour, let's go. And what did the first thing you had to do? You had to go through training. And they had to train you to make sure that you knew what you was talking about when they're ready for you now to perform, or when they're ready to put you on the phone and for you to make the calls. I know we had one of the boss ladies yesterday that was making calls, right, in a call center. But you had to go through training, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks training. And then now you have to, prove yourself. And now they put you on the phones because they see that you did your due diligence doing training. You went through all of the modules and the simulations, whatever. And now you're ready. And now you can confidently get on the phone. And even at that point, you're like, hi, this is Tamara. For that first time, that first phone call, you get the butterflies in the stomach, all of that, right? But preparation leads you to building your confidence. So what we're going to talk about today, as we're piggybacking off of everything yesterday, I'm just going to tie it all together, bring this thing to a close. I want you to just check out this video, and I will be back in just a moment for us to dialogue. All right, let's get it.
There are only two animals on the planet that the Creator identified himself with. The first one is the eagle. The eagle. And the second animal is the lion. And when I identified those two animals as his favorite to identify himself with, I recognized I better study these two animals, because if he is the leader of the universe and I want to be a leader on earth, I better find out the nature of these animals and also the attitude of these animals. And I discovered that both of them are the kings of their domain. The eagle is the king of the bird kingdom, and the lion is the king of the animal kingdom. But let's talk a little bit about the lion. The lion has what I call the spirit of leadership. And this word spirit here is referring to attitude. Everybody say attitude. A leader has an attitude that makes him or her different from followers. Now, the lion is the king of the jungle, but the lion to me is a great source of encouragement to all of us. I want you to write this down. Remember this as long as you live. Number one, the lion is not the tallest animal in the jungle. Number two, the lion is not the largest animal in the jungle. Number three, the lion is not the heaviest animal in the jungle. Number four, the lion is not the smartest animal or the most intelligent animal in the jungle. And yet, when he shows up, they all run away. Well, here's one of my favorite quotes that I put in my books, and I believe it really brings home the point. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. And the answers to that dilemma is this: because leadership can transform cowards into violent warriors. The right kind of leadership can transform a timid into bold people who are fearless. Leadership is that powerful. Leadership can walk into a camp of depressed people, and in 20 minutes they have turned on into unbelievable, powerful armies, because leadership determines everything. The lion is the king of the jungle because of one word: attitude. Everybody say attitude. Write it down. Attitude. The lion has a different attitude that makes every animal afraid of him. Now, we don't want to lead by fear, but it does take respect for you to become a leader. When I use the word fear in the jungle, we're talking about respect. The elephant respects the lion. The hyenas respect the lion. The giraffes, they respect the lion. What makes these massive animals respect such a small cat. The attitude is the difference. For example, a lion will see an elephant, and the thing that comes to his mind, one word: lunch. I could eat this thing. And he acts the way he thinks. Now here's another amazing mystery. The elephant is larger, bigger, stronger, more powerful, heavier, and more intelligent. And yet when the elephant sees the lion, one word comes to mind: eater. Attitude is a product of belief. You cannot have an attitude beyond your belief. So your attitude comes from your belief system. The lion is the king because of what he believes about himself.
Woo-hoo, man. The lion is the king simply because of what he believes about himself. So as we're talking about DMOs, we're going over structure, you know, we're going over these different things. Like yesterday, these ladies did absolutely phenomenal. Now, one thing that really, you know, stood out to me, Jessie believed that no matter what, even though Tamika was giving her all of the different reasons, she believed wholeheartedly that what she had for her was the solution to what she's going through. Tamika said, you know, it was the time. Then she said it was the money, and then, you know, kids and all of these different reasons. But Jessie wholeheartedly believed that what she had was the solution that Tamika needed to give her her time back, was the solution that Tamika needed to give her more time with her kids, was the solution that Tamika needed that's gonna help prepare her and her family for generations to come. So the lion is the king of the jungle, not because he is the biggest, but his belief system. So what I wanna ask you today is this, right? What is your belief system in any and everything that you do? See, when you show up confident, and one of the things that, you know, Miles Monroe said, right? Attitude don't, you know, it's not for you to be cocky or arrogant, right? But you just have a certain posture about you when your belief system is aligned with whatever it is that you're doing. You have a certain posture about you, and you show up different because why? Your belief system is aligned to where you know that you're going. It's just a matter of time, right? So if you have to go and submit yourself to learning a new craft, if you got to go to submit yourself to understanding, you know, man, you know what, I got to get outside of my comfort zone. I got to be uncomfortable for a season. I got to be uncomfortable for just a little bit, so eventually I can get where I need to be. Like yesterday, as we were watching Lorena Cordone, 11 years old. 11 years old. And why she got on the phone? Because why? She believed because her dad instilled that belief in her, right? Even though she was making the phone calls right then and there, he was coaching her through the process. What was that doing? It was building up her confidence. It was building up her belief. So she was able to go through call after call after call, face the rejection, but still stayed positive. Face the rejection and still kept going, right? And for some of us yesterday, I went through a process, and I want to show you guys, right? This is my list. Printed it out, and voicemail after voicemail after voicemail, reaching out to people, right? And I'm like, man, look, I know I'm gonna get, I got this. I know I'm gonna get somebody, right? And by the end of the day, like about an hour or two, you know, right before the call at 8 p.m., I was finally able to speak to somebody. But at that point, I had to shift my belief system, raise my energy, raise my excitement. So all of the 15 to 18 to 20 calls before I got a hold of somebody no longer existed. So I want to ask you today, right? Have we allowed the no's to dictate our attitude? Have we allowed the setbacks to dictate our attitude? Have we allowed our current circumstances to dictate our attitude? Have we allowed our internal fears to dictate our attitude? See, little 11-year-old Lorena, she was being coached by one of the greats. She was being mentored by one of the greats. Now, and this is what I want you to understand. It didn't matter that that was her father. It didn't matter that it was Grant Cardone. But the mere fact that she was willing to be humble enough to, number one, listen, and number two, apply, that's why she was able to get results. And when he broke down the numbers, right, 18 calls, and throughout those 18 calls, she was able to close one $400 she would have earned. Obviously, he said, but I'm not going to pay you that. But just imagine, you went through the no's and the no's and the no's and the no's and the no's. The no builds your character and the yeses builds your bank account. I remember one of my mentors said to me, he's like, Tano, listen, don't worry about all of the no's that you're going to go through on your journey. The no's will build your character, but the yes, the one yes will build your bank account. The yes will build the legacy that you're looking for. The yes will build the future you that you need to become. Right? So as we've been going through this week and we've been looking at different things and we've been role playing. And what I want to kind of touch on today is peeling back the onions. I know, Joe kind of, went through it yesterday, right? When he shared the screen share, and he also shared it last night. And it's very, very powerful. For those that, were on the call, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. It was so powerful. And it's so crazy, right? With just one particular question. There you go, Jesse. Each call gets you paid, but only if you continue. And the crazy thing is just a series of questions is so powerful, right? And, as Joe was covering it yesterday, man, I went to, talking to one of my, my prospective guests that was supposed to get on the call last night. And I asked him, I was like, look, man, trust me, I understand everything that's going on right now. But if everything were right, would you join me? Would you make the decision to go on this journey and let's build something amazing together? He said, yeah, of course. So I was like, okay, well, no problem. So what's stopping you? Is it me? I always ask that first. I know Joe has a background, right? But I say, no, is it me? You don't believe that we can do this together? Is it the money? Is it the price? Is it the company? Is it the terms of agreement? What is it? And he just honestly said, look, man, honestly, right now I just don't got it. And I respect that. He's like, no, it's not you at all, Tano, it's not you. I just don't have it right now. So at that point, we had to, come to, an agreement that, look, I understand, man, but do you see enough value here with what it is that we're doing? The information that you're going to be able to have access to, the information that you're going to be able to leverage now. And guys, let me tell you something that's so powerful, right? And I'm a work in progress. I ain't perfect. We're all on our journey. But let me tell you something. I was able to, work with one of my clients that I'm helping, through the process and helping them to, get their credit together. And man, when we did the refresh on his credit score and his Experian, after we did everything, I helped him get his, child support off his credit. Man, we deleted a whole bunch of collection off of his credit using the law. And, man, just the thought that when he called me after I sent him the screenshot of where he was, and I'm talking about he went through other, credit reporting, agencies and, the Lexington laws and you name it, right? And when I was able to send him his screenshot of where he was just a few months ago to where he's at now, his Experian went up from a 582 to a 750. His Equifax went from a 623 to a 743, right? TransUnion 677 to a 747. a 750 on his Experian, 747 on TransUnion, and a 743 on Equifax. And you know what he told me? He's like, Tano, man, let me tell you something. It's not even about, the score in itself. He's like, man, just knowing that my credit score is no longer, jacked up based upon my bad decisions that I made in the past, right? My credit score is no longer jacked up based upon, all of the things that I've done when I was younger. Because, I mean, this spanned back to when he was like 18, 19 years old. And did you guys know, like, LexisNexis, CoreLogic, and also Innovis, they've stored information on all of our credits and all of our history from the day that we were born. That address, that phone number, like I know when we went through and we did the cleanup, right? People were seeing phone numbers that they didn't have when they were in high school. Go all the way back, right? And man, he's like, man, you know what, Tano, man, thank you so much. Because now you've given me something, man, that I've been trying to get to for years. And I provided him the education on how to manage his credit, how to utilize it properly, so he don't go from a 750, 740 credit score back down to a 600 within less than 2 months. And that's the value that we have here, ladies and gentlemen. But see, the value is one thing, but it's that lion mentality. It's that lion confidence. And that lion confidence was what Miss, Cardone had yesterday. She was sitting with a lion, right? So that energy, that positivity, that vibe rubbed off on her. And she was going through calls after calls after calls. Why? Because she surrounded herself, or she was in the midst of that type of belief system. So I want to ask you today, right? Who's in your corner? Who's pushing you along? Who's encouraging you every day? Who's lifting you up when you have times of, just doubt and fear and all of those things creep into your mind? Who are you listening to? Who's pouring into you? And we got to be able to surround ourselves with people that's not only just on the same mission, but have the same heart. And we got to surround ourselves with people that don't see us for who we are right now, but they see us for who we can be a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, if the Lord does tarry, right? So as we've gone through this week, I want to, challenge you today. Tamika, shout out to you. I know we've been talking about you for the longest, right? But your story, your development, you're evolved into such an amazing individual. Just being willing and able to just step out of your comfort zone, doing lives that, just letting people know who you really are. So I want to challenge all 40 of us today. Make it a mission of yours to go live today. Whatever you're doing, take some time, challenge yourself to go live today. Pick a topic. Think about whatever it is, right, that you want to talk about. And I'm quite sure the people may not respond back to you today. But see, when you plant a seed, you don't see the tree tomorrow. But you plant a seed, and eventually, after it's being watered and watered and watered, that seed then becomes a big, beautiful tree. As you go live today, right? Think about who can you inspire? Who can you touch? Who can you make an impact on without holding out your hand, asking for something, but just freely giving. Freely giving up yourself, freely giving up your time, freely giving up your passion, your talent. And eventually that information that you're able to release for free will eventually come back to you as well. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I'm not going to hold you long this morning. Man, we got so much amazing things lined up for this week, but I want you to walk out of here today. Walk out of here confidently today from this call, knowing that you are amazing, right? I want you to walk out of this call confidently, knowing that you are an amazing individual. There's nothing impossible for you, right? And as he said, the right kind of leadership can transform a timid person into a bold, fearless individual. So who will you choose to be today? Who will you choose to be today? And one of the amazing quotes that Dr. Miles Monroe left was, an army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Again, an army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. I want you to go today in confidence, knowing that, listen, you are a lion. You are amazing. And there's nothing that's going to stop you. As long as your faith is solid, you know where you're going, you know what you're looking to do, and you know the people that you're going to be able to bless on the way. So with that being said, I love each and every single one of you. It's Mogul Nation. You already know what time it is. And I will see you on another morning call tomorrow morning, same time, same place. For life, baby. Let's get it.
We receive your way. You keep your promises. If you said it, we believe it. If you said it, hey. If you said it, we believe it. Hey. Yeah. If you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man of your word. If you said it, we believe it. Oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. You're a man. Say, you're a man of your word. Hey, say,
Yeah, I know things are possible.